Good morning, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Luke Waters Clobber, and this is my co-host, James Bold Finds. And together we are Bold Clobber, a live podcast dedicated to UK resellers. That's whether you're full-time, part-time, or just starting out on eBay and Vinted or any other reselling platform. And on this week's episode, we are diving into Q4 preparation, the busiest, most profitable, and probably the most stressful time of the year for online sellers. We'll share our complete plan for staying ahead of the holiday rush, from sourcing smarter inventory and setting achievable daily listing goals to managing cash flow, postage delays, customer expectations, all that kind of stuff, because it's all going to go through the roof over the next couple of months. So whether you're shipping hundreds of parcels or just getting ready for your first big holiday season, this episode will help you avoid the Q4 panic and make the most of every single sale. Good morning, James. How are you, sir?
Good morning. We may or may not have just both woken up in a panic, rushing to get to the podcast because I overslept the alarm. The alarm went up at 6:30, and honestly, I snoozed it, put on another little true crime podcast on the headphones, and fell asleep. And Luke was out watching Tottenham last night, so we'll try and get through this today. But part of the prep for Q4 is don't snooze your alarm. That's going to be my prep. But hey, we're going to wake up late and sleep through. I'm glad it's a weekday and not a weekend.
Yeah, do not do that. Champions League nights at Spurs. Oh my God. Honestly, the game was dead. The game was terrible, but got amazing seats right near the front. Just the atmosphere, man. Like, you'll know, if Arsenal go into like the pubs beforehand, we got up there like 2.5 hours early. And just like soaking everything in, it was just epic. Obviously, we've been out of the Champions League and then back in it through the Europa League, slotted right in. But yeah, it was cool. But yeah, looking forward to this one. I'm talking to you guys. I'm gonna need your help with this one as well, because Q4, obviously, busiest time of year for us. Actually, I was looking back at last year's figures, and when you go to performance, and then you can basically do the custom. And then go 1st of October to 31st of December. So you look at those 92 days. And for me, I can screen share. I don't know if it doesn't really matter. I mean, I screen shared last week. But the sales figure, the thing that I really want to speak about is I was actually 13.9% down as compared to 1st of July to the 30th of September. I would never have thought that's the case. And I thought I was going to come on and say I was like 20% up, or, sales went crazy. To be honest, I might have to go back and look at, was I listing exactly the same, or I definitely wouldn't have been listing less. So have you checked out your figures to see, I don't know, did you get a spike?
Are you looking at this quarter, same period last quarter?
I'm looking at 2024, 1st of October to the end. So basically in 2 weeks' time, that period till the end.
I'd have to. Did you do a custom search for that?
Did a custom search, but if James is going to have a little look, I'll say hello to you guys. Let's see who's in. Obviously, she's always first. She's number one. Look forward to watching some. Can't watch it all, but we'll catch up. Good to hear, Lucy. Who we got? Beastie Boy. Good morning. Andy's in. Good morning. Morning, Simon. What a lovely day to be alive. What a lovely day. Dan who resells. I joined the tech group yesterday to view the lives on Thursday. Is there a link in the schedule file that I use? Still finding my way around everything. I think probably pop James a message.
Yeah, Dan, drop me a message on Facebook Messenger and I'll help you find it. It's on the pinned post. And tech would have sent you out the instructions. But drop me a message after, and I'll drop you a voice note today.
Good morning, TZ, secondhand and branded. Crystal, good morning, and Nick, good morning. So yeah, like I say, everyone, I checked over my stats, and I was very surprised. I thought it was going to be a big spike. Can't really remember Q4, to be honest. It wasn't even that long ago, to be honest. But yeah, that's why I was just intrigued, mate. I was just going to see if your figures were.
Remind me of the dates, and I'll do it now.
1st of October last year till the end of the year.
Okay. 1st of October until the end of 24, and you want to compare it to the year before? Is that what you're doing?
It wasn't even that, mate. It was actually the quarter before that. So quarter 3 was actually stronger. Now I can definitely feel that sales have started picking up in the last, probably say month. But yeah, I mean, July. I don't think July was too great, to be honest. So
I got the error message thing. So yeah, okay, we'll just take your word for it. You were down.
I was, mate. But yeah, the reason why this session or this podcast matters, the reason why Q4 matters is because it's the run up to Christmas. You have, X amount of holidays. You've got, Black Friday. You've got people getting their Christmas gifts. And the thing is with our stores as well, especially with my store, I can't really speak for James's, but a lot of us, say clothing sellers as well, actually electronic games, whatever you are. With me, I have a lot of winter stuff. So I'd probably say it's like 80 pushing like 90% winter. So like coats, jackets, all that kind of stuff. The stuff where the ASP is generally higher. So it's pretty much the biggest sales window of the year. So you're going to get spikes. And with that, like I said in the intro, comes with, it comes with stresses as well. There's a lot of you get a lot of returns, you get a lot of messages, you get all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I tend to stick to the same sort of structure that I stick to all year round. I know we're talking about like a plan and stuff like that, but I don't really change too much within my business. It tends to just go, well, clearly not, but usually for people, it just tends to, just increase. But do you see a big spike when it comes to like October, or is it more so November for you?
Yeah, I'm very similar to you with my store. Very winter heavy, I would say my store is. Even already, I'm getting lots of offers on jackets and stuff. Lots of lowball offers, I don't mind saying, on eBay. Like a North Face 600 jacket up for, I think I got it up for $59.99. I woke up to an offer this morning of 15 quid. I know people try their luck and stuff. So I think we're definitely heading into that jumper jacket weather. But I'm actually focusing on thinking about the problem I had this year where I didn't really have much summer stock. So I'm really focusing my sourcing right now, especially when it comes to Vinted, a lot more summery items when I can. So I'm trying to buy dresses. I'm trying to buy tops and shirts, formal shirts. I've been trying to snipe some shorts as well. Swimming shorts. So swimming shorts is kind of all year round anyway. I think they do sell better in the summer. So I've been sniping swimming shorts. So I've been really switching my focus with sniping to be the summer stuff as well as the winter stuff. Where before, most of the time when I go out buying, I'm always like hooked to go and buy the jackets and the jumpers because that's where most of the time the higher value stuff is. So that's a switch up I've been making. But apart from that, mate, Q4 for me is just continue to do as you've done all the other quarters, really. Some people get a boost. I've never noticed a real like Q4 mega boost, I would say. So yeah, just business as usual. Really keeping an eye with regards to the weather when it comes to like the shipping of stuff. Although we're quite lucky, we don't get crazy amounts of snow. If we do get snow and stuff, you've got to bear in mind that is going to affect shipping times. I think the last couple of years, the courier companies, something's happened to one of them. I think Yodel's collapsed about 12 times in the last couple of years.
My God.
I really keep an eye out because it's not just Yodel that it affects if you use Yodel. Obviously, if Yodel goes down, everyone moves over to the next cheapest, which is Everett. So just keep all that in mind. Packing supplies, I've run out of the eBay mid-size bags that I order, which I normally put my jackets in. And luckily, they're arriving today. But I've had a jacket sale last night that has to go out today. So if that hadn't come, I would have had to find another way to pack a jacket. Normally, I'm quite stocked up. I've kind of slacked ordering the bigger sizes. So maybe do a bit of an audit of the packing materials you've got, boxes, poly mailers, bubble mailers, whatever you use, and just make sure you've got enough for hopefully a busier period.
Yeah, I'm just going to get to a couple of ones that came in before. So move on to the more kind of relevant ones, so the ones we're talking about. Danny, Luke, I'm from Holland. Always watch your videos. Can you please make one in the field cover video? Danny, there might be one this week. I'm telling you that. So
no surprises, but there might be one.
Yeah, we had a little bet as well. So yeah, there's going to be one coming.
Hi, Danny, as well from Holland. I think that's the first time I've seen anyone in a live stream from Holland that I've noticed. Cool. So Holland's cool. I want to go to Holland.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. I'm just getting into reselling and loving your podcast and channels. This pod is one of the best out there. Oh, thank you, Mark. This is my first time joining you live. We'll appreciate you coming in.
Hi, Mark.
Wish we could be a little bit more lively this morning, but
yeah, it's rough. We'll get better. Once we wake up, we'll get better. It's fine.
Yeah, they say definitely higher in Q4 for family and friends getting toys with presents. As people are trying to get more money with the cost of living crisis. Yeah, there's that taken into consideration as well. And I wanted to ask you, because obviously I didn't see a massive rise or anything like that, and I thought the demand would be a lot more. But do you think it's a category thing as well? Because I feel like the gaming and like media category would be wild at that time. I know we've in the group. There's a guy, I think his name's Alex, who does a gaming stuff, and he does FBA, and he gets a lot of stuff stockpiled pretty much for Q4. But clothing wise, I know because you're mainly in clothing as well. Do you just think it just doesn't hit as well for us?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really, I always find this question really tough because with Alex's category, for instance, I kind of thought with gaming you'll be busy all year round. You know, people game all year round, but I guess in like peak summer, if it is like 2 weeks of heat waves, a lot of people aren't going to be thinking about sitting inside. Well, it will be people, but I think more people want to get outdoors while they can. So I guess that is slow for him. So his category probably is more weather dependent, but I think with the gaming category, you're going to get steady sales all year. I think with used clothing, I think it's fine up until the point of nearer Christmas, because for Christmas presents, it's quite rare that someone's going to buy a second-hand pair of, I don't know, a second-hand Nike tracksuit for someone for Christmas. But Lucy made a good point. With the cost of living, a lot more people are now switching to pre-owned because of the price. So, yeah, I think it's hard to say, mate. I can't see a slowdown. I think returns get higher in Q4, especially around Christmas time, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling things such as suits, for me, when I've sold some fancy dress stuff around Christmas time for Christmas parties, I noticed the returns were quite high at the end of December or just before Christmas on returns. Think about dresses. If you're selling dresses for occasional dresses, just be mindful that you might get a return on it because a lot of people sadly will buy the dress, wear it for the party, the Christmas party, the event, the ball they've got. Next day, wake up and say, I'm never going to wear this dress again. I'm just going to send it back. So just be mindful. Don't take it personally. It's part of running the business, unfortunately, as frustrating as it is. But yeah, just be a bit mindful that returns on some clothing might go up December time.
Yeah, you're probably going to get a massive influx come January as well. So yeah, that usually, I think I can remember that actually. As soon as it hit kind of the first week, Q1, there was a lot of returns open. But yeah, I think my return percentage at the minute is pretty steady. It's not too bad. God, when you're on like when you just get paid and then you process it all and you go into a minus and you're like, I'm fighting the day here. Like I'm trying to get back into it. Yeah, let me see what you guys are saying. Also, I'm going to put a banner on because I know how to do the banner thing now. I want to know. The main thing I want to know as well is what do you do different? Because I can only say what I kind of do, which isn't that much. And then James can say what he can do. The main thing here for people listening, especially beginners and people with their first time going into Q4, I know it's obviously it can be category dependent on that, but what do you do different? And also what kind of tips do you have for Q4? And it could be around anything. It could be around sourcing. It can be around packaging. Yeah, absolutely anything, how you structure your store, markdown sales, all that kind of stuff. Let me know. And if you're listening to the replay, put it in the comments as well, because the people watching back, they can obviously see the live chat and what we speak about, but you can obviously have an input as well. So yeah, please do put down what you do different in Q4. If at all you do anything different. If you don't, and the reasons why you don't, put that in there as well. Can be daily listing goals.
I think for a lot of people, and it's not everyone, because a lot of people don't source from car boots at all, but a lot of people do source from car boots. And I think if you are new into reselling, especially, I think that's where a lot of people start because they see people going out to car boots and what's there and the availability of the car boots and the amount of stores you can go to. So I think a lot of people probably started with car boots, maybe even a bit of Vinted sniping and some charity shopping alongside. But that's going to be the biggest change, isn't it, for Q4? The car boots have realistically got another month left for most of them, I would say. You might get lucky with the weather. Some might stay on later. I know my Saturday one, they were open a couple of years ago, the week before Christmas. And it was snowing and they were still open. So you do get lucky, but you've got to remember it's okay for us to go out in the snow or when it's spitting of rain. But are the sellers going to be out there? Your house clearance people, probably. But your normal Joe public are going to look at the weather and say, why are we doing a boot sale? It's freezing cold. We're not going to stand in the cold for 4 or 5 hours. So that's going to be a big change for Q4. So for you, where's the pivot going to be? Because for me, the pivot, especially after last week's podcast and what I've been doing this week, the pivot is going to be more Vinted again. I've been doing a lot more on Vinted, a lot more sniping. And I messaged you the other day and I said, how nice is it when you get the Vinted stuff through to list that stuff up? Like, it always feels great because as long as you're sniping correct, you're getting the good stuff. So what about you? So let's say we get the message today, Dunton is closed for the season, and your local one sends you the message next week saying we're closed for the season. See you in March, April time. What happens to Luke? Because it's 5-6 months of struggling to stock for a lot of people.
First of all, I think that was good what you said there about, like you might be okay going to the car boot, but what about the sellers? That's the one thing that I'm trying to look at. When I'm on BBC Weather on the app and I'm like, it's cool from like midnight up until say like 10 o'clock. So I'm like
9 o'clock. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, right. So it opens up at 4. So I get a solid, like, what, I don't know, 5 hours. But you got to think about them, like setting up and all that kind of stuff. And that's one thing I wasn't taking into consideration. So I was going there. I was like, why is it a quarter of a field? Anyway, just if you're new and like you think, oh, there's a gap or whatever, just don't be disappointed if it is on and there's barely anyone there, because that really winds me up. Anyway, the pivot is like the key question here. Like, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? And I don't really see it. I don't have this unicorn supplier that's going to send me all the stuff to my door and it's all going to be perfect and hit my listing goals and have bangers in it and sick stuff. No, it's going to be, for me, don't like doing it. Really don't like doing it. I don't like doing charity shop routes, but I've got routes planned out now in like towns and villages and all that kind of stuff, close and not so close by. So I'm going to have to go back to that. Plus I'm going to have to be on Vinted more. But if you're not aware, they're issuing a lot of soft bans. I mean, like 3-4 items and you're done for like 12, 48 hours.
I got the message yesterday. I think you had the message yesterday or the day before as well. You know, the message where it's like we feel it's bot activity. And believe me, if I'm using a bot for my sniping, I need to get a new bot because I'm not getting anywhere near enough. I think I sniped like 4 items the day before and I got the soft ban for 24 hours. Then I got the message and I'm just like, are they just slapping this message to everyone? So there is a huge fear that Vinted's going to shut me down from a buying point of view. And that's a worry. So then I'm thinking in my head, okay, wake up tomorrow, Vinted have shut you down. Where's the next pivot? Because Vinted shutting you down at this time is probably the worst time they can do it. If boot sales are on, you kind of like, okay, I just need to spend more at the car boots. I need to stockpile for the winter, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I always think about what if. What if my charity shop woman comes back next week and she says, I'm leaving and that contact's gone? What if you go to the charity shop and they say, we know the car boot sales are close and we're upping our prices 50% because we know people are going to pay the money now. So I always think about the what if scenario, and you can't hyper focus on it because you'll never get anything done. But when you get the message from Vinted with the soft ban, you do start worrying and feeling like, oh, could this be coming to the end? And I don't think it will, because I know a lot of people have had the message and are fine. But yeah, it just makes you think.
Right, this sounds ridiculous, but when I got the when the rag kind of said, was it a little bit of mutual? It was more so like them just saying it's pretty much done, or it was just pricing me out. So, or the whole power was in their hands. I think I spoke about this like a couple of podcasts back. Then I was saying to you, I was like, what the hell do I do? And all of a sudden, you have to learn something different. So like if Vinted stopped or they said, right, free and you're done for the day, then like all like charity shops were like, I don't know, really bad or something like that. It would just force you to learn something different. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I would just panic, mate. But yeah, I don't know, because I'm so used to how it is at the minute and I've been used to it since the start of April. I've been getting so much on Sundays and on Vinted with none of these like real like soft bands. I've been getting like 10, 15 a day, something like that. But over the past couple of days, there's been blocking you out. Didn't go to Dunton last week, and to be honest, it was on. James went there, but I didn't because I'm just a wreck every single Sunday. I know, like guys, some of you might get up at 3 in the morning. There might be a 4 o'clock in the morning car boot sale near you. It's basically like getting up in the middle of the night. It absolutely finesses me for the day. I'm a wreck. So I needed a week off. And then it just so happens that this week it's probably going to get rained off. So I would have had that week off.
I know.
Anyway, mate, the pivot is just, it's not something that I've thought about too much until probably this week when I was like, okay, so if I can only get 2 or 3 things online, even if you did have like a couple of accounts or whatever it is, it's not many that you can get. I pretty much just have to go out charity shopping. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't like it, but I would still go out and get 20, 30 things. Like it's not the end of the world. But sometimes you just have to do certain things that you don't like. Some people don't like going car boots. Some people don't like going charity shops. Some people hate sitting on their phone. But I don't know, that time of year, if you haven't got a supplier, you just got to go and do it, especially if you're full time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had something happen the other day, which was really weird. I told you about this, Luke. I had a collection only thing. And I didn't think I had collection only on my business policies, but I did. But anyway, this guy brought an England rugby jacket from me. It's only like £10. And he wanted to come and collect it. And so we tried to arrange collection, finally agreed today. And with collection, it always reminds me of Facebook. You know, when someone's coming to buy something from Facebook and you wait in, they don't turn up. But this guy rocks up on time, gave me the scan code straight away and said to me, "Oh, I see on your store you sell a lot of clothes." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I do." And he said to me that he used to work in the office in London, all this stuff. And he's got lots of like formal clothing. And he was going to do a bit of eBay himself, but he can't be bothered. Would have been interested in a consignment. And I said to him, like, no, consignments are not for me. Like, I told him the reasons why. You know, I don't want you to have to be chasing me for the money. I don't want to work out the splits every time and blah, blah, blah. It just becomes more confusing when it comes from like an accounts perspective as well. And I said to him, but if you're interested in selling it, I'll be interested in potentially buying it all. Anyway, this guy's going to wait for a few days, but he's going to WhatsApp me when he's back. And he can have some really good stuff. And I don't know the volume of the stuff. Okay, we could be talking 10 pieces, which is a nothing deal. But, you know, he can have a couple of 100 pieces he's looking to sell. And straight away, then that's a couple of 100 pieces that I'll probably take and then I will put away for later in the year for when the boot sales die down. So I will then. I normally don't do this. I don't normally stockpile. I list and wait compared to wait and list. But that might give me a little bit of a buffer for them slower winter months, for the weeks where you go to the charity shops and you don't come out with much, for the weeks where Vinted gives you a soft ban, etc. So sometimes opportunities just kind of announce themselves randomly. And I didn't expect it. And I was a bit like, oh, okay, maybe the universe is kind of listening to me when I'm like, oh my God, like things aren't going well right now. So sometimes it's not the opportunities you even seek. It's just some things happen. So my message to everyone, select collection only. No, I'm joking. Don't do that because it never happens. But yeah, it was just cool, mate. It was just random. But stuff like that can happen. So how often are you thinking about when you're at the car boot now, asking the regular dealers, you know, oh, only a few weeks left here, probably. What's your plans? Because they still need to make money over winter.
Yeah, I think, you know, I was going to talk about in another section about where to source when car boots are shut. We're pretty much going over that now. And remember we were saying about, oh, he's going to send this magical person to your door. You literally had this geezer rock up. But
it could be nothing. So I'm not going to come and be like, oh my God, I've got a new contact. It's not a new contact. It's going to be a one-off deal probably, but it's something, you know.
But with them traders, they're people that we see this one at Dunham, and he has crazy stuff, doesn't he? Like Levi's jackets, Barber's jackets, everything like that. Everything I would probably take everything, and even amazing jeans as well. So, but he rocks up every single week, and I'm like, this stuff is so overpriced. But the thing, he's not selling to me. He's selling to like your Joe that comes up at like 8, 9 o'clock and wants to buy a pair of Levi's or Barber jacket for like a decent price. But anyway, yeah, they're the type. I don't know if they're the type of people maybe that you approach, and it's like, look, it's getting to the end of the season. They might already do something outside of the car boot, but it's probably worth having them chats because I'm proper obsessed with getting people's numbers and then following up and seeing if they've got anything else at their house or their mate's house or whatever. But with those people, I don't pay attention to them at all because I'm just like, it's not for me. But it might be. So that might be a play coming to the end. But I don't know how long we've got, mate. This is the first time we've been to Dunton properly, so I don't know when it's going to properly shut down. It's going to be interesting, very interesting.
I might explore the auction side again as well, because now I'm a bit more open to picking up that everything stuff again as well. there's an auction that runs every Thursday, which is difficult because of the call within the group. So if I do start going to the auction, I'd have to move the call, which wouldn't be the end of the world if I had to move it to a different day. And Sunday, they do it as well. But the Sunday's difficult because there's no way, like if I do Dunton, there's no way I'd want to go and do an afternoon stroke, goes into the evening, late at night auction. Like I'll be completely wiped out on a Sunday. So I might look into that. There's the online auctions as well that I might dip back into. But I guess the question for you, if things are a real struggle, how open are you to going and buying other stuff to get through? So normally in the normal months when the boot sales are on, you kind of get enough for what you need. But say you do go out to the charity shops and it's a dead rubber for a couple of days, or you're compromising on the quality and stuff just to come home with something. How open are you jumping on like Facebook Marketplace and kind of seeing, oh, okay, I've sold that before, I can go and pick it up and sell it?
Yeah, to me, like it looks like an absolute SIHT show on fucking I swear anyway, on Facebook. So like I don't know. I need to learn stuff like that. I mean, we spoke about it before. Just as like a slightly different avenue. I'm more than open. I think it's probably untapped as well, especially for like local around me. But speaking to a few people as well, and I need to tap into something like Facebook ads, just to like put ads out in like the local area and just say like, oh, I've closed or something. The whole inbound thing to me is fascinating, but it's just because I've been able to get enough stuff. I haven't had that crazy pressure of like going out scrambling getting stuff. I haven't had that. I haven't had the panic. So I feel like I need to really stay on top of it. Start learning something now, whatever it might be. But I'm going to dive back into the comments, see what you guys are. Hopefully, there's a few people that are saying what they do different in Q4. Also, if you are on your, especially if you're on your laptop, please do. If you come in late, I looked at my figures for last Q4 in comparison to Q3, and it was actually my numbers were actually down. So I'd be interested to see for you guys as well. Are you up, and also what category you're in as well? Because I know a few of you are in different categories, so that might mean something different. But AC Global, I source less in the winter and concentrate more on listing the stock I have stockpiled in my storage container. Therefore, my bank balance shoots up. Oh my God. If you're not sourced, I mean, I've had instances where I haven't sourced for one reason or another, and you feel like you're balling. It's crazy. And also another thing as well, James, is I spoke to, I think it might have been Jamie Dodger at the eBay event, just saying about how they just list overstock from car boots. And this might be more for part-time people as well, that just can get loads of stuff from the car boots, put it in like a unit in a garage or something like that, and then just work through it during the winter. I mean, for your bank, that's going to be healthy as anything.
Yeah, massively. I think it depends on, as I said last week, what you're listing a day as well. Because if you imagine you had to go to, say you're doing 15 a day, imagine every time you source, you had to get 30 and you put away 15 just to cover you over the 3-4 months the car boots weren't on, for instance. That's a lot of money tied up. So I get the whole cash flow thing, and Andy's right. If you've got stock and you don't source and you just build up your cash flow, but at some point you've had to buy the stock. So that money's been tied up for a certain amount of time. So there's pros and cons to it, for sure.
I think that's I'm probably not qualified enough to speak about like cash flow management. That's one topic I would love to go into, but I feel like a fraud talking about it. So in terms of cash flow, this is something that I think you've spoke about more so than me. And if you don't feel comfortable speaking about it at all, I don't know why I don't. Like, I just don't think about it as much. But because we're going to be sourcing from, I'd probably say overall higher cost of goods places on average, I would say, because car boots it has to be the lowest. And then, so we're mainly going to be, what I was talking about earlier, charity shops and Vinted is going to be a lot higher. So is that really on your mind? So say like, if you can get access to the stuff on Vinted, usually you're looking at like £8 with everything all in, shipped, something like that. As like,
let's be honest, it's more than that on Vinted. £8.
I'm saying as a minimum.
£8 all in is a success. There was stuff I was buying yesterday. I got a Rab jacket. Can you believe it, everyone?
He's lying.
No, I did.
They're not out there.
Jacket, please. But yesterday, like the Rab jacket was £15 plus. So what's that? 18 something, nearly 19 quid. And then I bought All Saints leather jacket, £20 plus. So 2 transactions and I'm in for 40 quid.
This is what I'm saying, mate. So is this really like playing on your mind? How would you kind of say that you're going to go about it come winter? Are you going to be very, very, is it, I know we're supposed to be insanely picky as it is. Are you going to be extremely picky? If you're limited to say 3 or 4 transactions on Vinted and you know you're zapped out for 12 to 48 hours, are you literally going to be like, I'm only getting stuff where it's like 40, 50 plus in terms of like profit?
Yeah, it has to be, mate. And I think the mentality I spoke about last week and what I've been doing is concentrating more on the listed value into the store compared to the amount I've listed. So on Monday, I listed 10, and I think the value was like 500. I've been posting in the group. I think it was like 500 and something. Yesterday, I listed 11, and it was 300 and something. So I need to really be thinking to myself, okay, it needs to be a minimum of £300 going in, regardless of the amount I'm listing. But today I might list 5 and it might equal 500. So I'm really thinking a lot more about the stuff I'm picking up. And then when I'm listing it also, kind of double questioning myself why I picked this up. Was this a good pickup? And like I said to you, when I'm getting the stuff from Vinted, I'm listing it. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm like, this is a great item. I'm glad I bought this. Sometimes when I come back from the car boots or from the charity shops, I look at it and I'm like, it's all right, but it's going to make me probably about £7, £8 profit. It's not great. So I've been really thinking about that. So I think that's going to change my mentality over Q4 as well, not to stress about that quantity going up, but more about the quality. Because I'd rather list 3 items today and all 3 sell and make my 300 quid. It's not always going to happen, but it's out there if you take more time to find it.
Yeah, and if you're curious about listing goals in general, we did a really good podcast with Simon, Gentleman Marketeer, where we spoke about in depth for like an hour and a half. But if you're like me, talking to you guys out there, if you're like me, who have basically lived and died by the quantity that you're putting up per day, and I'd probably say if you can't get access to it, as much stock over the winter, then really, really honing in on that ASP and trying to increase it and looking at that daily amount, like what James was saying. It pretty much could be counteracted. We could counteract that. So
yeah, don't take my advice, guys. I don't have a clue what I'm doing, so don't take the advice from me.
Morning, peeps. Listening while working, converting my new double garage. Oh my god, double garage. First of all, was up, free to go. The dream for me.
Go on, Carper.
It is either what Simon has, where he just walks, where his commute to work is walking out the back door, taking a stroll to his garden room, basically like ultimate eBay setup, or it's to have a double garage, triple garage, whatever it is, like connected to the house where you go down and you work out of it. Like,
would you say, I've got a question for you. Would you say Simon has the best reselling setup in the UK? Because someone on YouTube has been talking and saying they've got the best reselling setup. So I think Simon's setup is incredible.
It's the right. So I don't want to, because I'm extremely excited because I could potentially have within the next 2 months 2 20-foot containers behind where I live, because the guy that owns the ones where I drive to now, it's like 15-20 minute drive, 15-20 minutes back, whereas he's trying, he said, that's why I don't want to get too happy, he said there's 2 potentially behind our block, so my walk would be as close as it gets to what Simon has. But I don't think anyone has it. He basically has a 20-foot container or slightly bigger than that in his garden. So like, there's just no, because I have to cater back basically like 40, say like nearly an hour with picking items and coming back.
That's so far.
If you've got it there, like, I know you could talk about like, efficiency, saving that hour and stuff like that. It's just knowing that everything's there. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's epic. So I would probably say yes, unless there's probably just people cracking on that are not on YouTube or social media that have probably got an incredible setup. But as far as people showing what they're doing, yeah, it's nuts, mate. I love it. Last week was my best week of the year so far, even though there was no sales day in there as well. Last week was best. Yeah, last week I think for me was pretty decent. But yeah. What about you last week? Do you kind of roughly know yours last week?
It was better, put it that way.
Yeah.
It was a better week for sure. It wasn't gangbusters.
Yeah, it's been a bit. If you look at my graph, it's so like. It's like a mini roller coaster.
I'll tell you when it's a good week, mate. I'll come on the podcast straight around. I just want to share something in. Look at my fucking graph. Come on.
Yeah. I just want that level. I want that level graph that's high.
Yeah, I'm not greedy. Just give me £1,000 day for the next, 5,000 days. That's all I want.
Practice from one. Yodel have merged with InPost and noticed today that the delivery prices have already gone up on Vinted. Oh, have they? I know that they merged with them. So, matey down the road, where I drop my parcels off, he said that just the same guy takes all of them now. So, I don't know. Could that be an issue? Come, what's it called? Run up to Christmas.
Mate, them lockers are going to be stacked.
Yeah, it's going to be. It might even need to be like I can't stand Royal Mail. Like,
I'm not
can't stand going to the post.
I'd rather close my store down.
I don't know about yours. I'm talking to you guys as well. Like, it's depressing as hell. Like, in going to a post office for me. Like, so there's one that's okay, like a little bit further away, but yeah. And it even went up where I used to live as well. I just didn't like going in there. Just starting out reselling. What's the best tips? Whoa, that's a very broad question. What's the best tips? I don't know. Try if you could be a little bit more specific, then yeah.
My one tip for you, Luke, when you start clothing, is take the time on eBay as well as out there to study. Don't just look at, I don't know, let's use All Saints. Don't just look at All Saints. Everything in All Saints is a pickup. Find the 3 or 4 things in All Saints that you do not leave behind, and then do it for Barber, and then do it for all the brands you can think of to start off. And then go out to charity shops and go through every single item on the rail. Do not leave a charity shop till you looked at every single item, and do the same at part. It's research and knowledge, and that's the best way to learn, I think.
Yeah, and it sounds very exciting as well. So if you're starting from the very beginning, I mean, I've got 1,800 items in my store. Sometimes I wish I could like offload all of it and just restart and just have like a mini setup again. But yeah, just like what James said, just about research, learning the platform, understanding like your title structure, item specifics, all the very like all the very basic stuff. Just get that right, and then kind of grow from there. Try and have a strong sell through from the very beginning. Pick up only desirable items, and you'll be on your way, sir. People want it next day for their own Christmas present. Some with birthdays. Yes, there's going to be a lot of messages saying, "Can you send this first class? Can you send this next day?" And yeah, I tend to not cave for that kind of stuff unless it's like a very like high ticket item or something. So what do you do? If someone says, "Can you send this first class?" I've already paid. I don't know. Would you like do a nice thing like that?
I've got the option on the post's policy. If they want to pay for raw mail, it's $9.99. They can pay for it. That's it.
Wrong. It can be category, I think, as people aren't thinking of clothing, as most people either give money to buy their own clothes, as people opinion on clothes is different, as you may get wrong when choosing. Yes.
I guess it's choosing the size.
Yeah. How are you liking the new feature on offers where it shows how long the item has been listed? So helpful when deciding to accept or counter.
I love that, John. I noticed it yesterday, and I was actually like, it's such a small little change, but it is for that. And I agree, because when I look at it, and it's like, this item's been listed for like 242 days, and it oh god, my voice gone. 242 days, and they've offered you like 25% off, and you were offering them 20. I'm like, you can have 30% off. I don't care. It needs to go. So yeah,
massively for those the stuff that's been lingering in your store. I absolutely love it. And like James said, it's such a tiny little tweak. But yeah, I think it's great. I aggressively list more in Q4, need urgency. So going back to daily listing goals, thank you for taking us on that, Dan. For me, I think the most I would go up, and this is the thing, like I don't think I can get anywhere near what I could probably get during the summer. So for me, it's probably going to be staying at the 12. Sell-through is definitely picking up. So if I can stay at the 12 and then sell between, I don't know, 10 to 15 or 12 to 15, I'm still well over the moon. So I don't know, would you kind of step on it? Or, and this is for you guys as well, do you list more? Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see, but mate, what do you think?
Yeah, I personally never have. I never kind of say like, oh, Q4, let's ramp up the listings. I think and I've seen people do this. People kind of stay consistent the whole year round and kind of ramp it up maybe month by month and just continue to do that way. But again, I've seen people do it. Again, I think it also depends on what you sell. If I was a paddling pool seller or them jacuzzi spa sellers, you better believe January, February, March, I am ramping up my listings massively. I ain't going crazy on the listings of the lazy spas at the start of October. So I think it is category dependent. I think if you can ramp up, amazing. But then what happens in January? Do you drop off? As in, are you going to ramp up from, I don't know, down what you're doing? Let's say you're doing 10. Are you going to suddenly go up to 20 for all of Q4? And then come January, realize that you've run out of stock and then have to drop down to 5? Like, what's the plans after Q4 would be my question. If you're going to ramp up and you're going to stay there, I think Q4 is the perfect time to do it.
For me, I just want stuff gone. Like, I really want to decrease the store size. I know it sounds crazy, but I just want stuff in and out at the minute. That's one thing I'm really paying attention to. Really trying to tweak the listings of the old stuff and just get it moving. I think I might even be too aggressive sometimes. Like, cause I'm more aggressive with the pricing now. And then I'm putting I'm purposely double stacking the eBay coupon. Just like, whereas before I'm like, oh crap, like they've put a coupon on and then I've put an extra 10% or 15%. But that was when stuff was moving. So why don't I do that all the time? And then I've been doing that last month. And you could say that, oh, we're going into Q4 and naturally like things are moving anyway, but I don't care, mate. Like, when stuff's moving, I'm just going to stay on that. I'm trying my hardest not to tweak anything. And I don't think I have been for a while. We're gonna blitz because there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So
you blitz away, mate.
All right. Because I want to get through to everyone, but I also want to kind of get some of these topics in at the same time. But the main thing is what you guys are doing, what you guys can bring to this as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading some of these. Q4 for me is always the highest revenue across the year. I focus on gaming media. Oh mate, this is a bit of you as well. Gaming media, cameras, and vintage audio electronics. Console seems to fly out more in Q4 for me than any other time of year. And we've spoke to a few people that do electronics, that do gaming, all that kind of stuff. And this stuff seems to go crazy. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting time, man.
Yeah, I love the camera category. I think if I could source enough, I would do cameras. Cameras and Nerf guns. Maybe a couple of Furbies chucked in, and then you can just take all my clothing for free. I don't care.
The thing is, there's been Nerf guns, and you're like, nah. Like,
yeah. Do you know why I'm like, nah?
Do you look at the bulkiness? Is that what you look at now?
So yeah, sometimes I always think about the box. I always think about that. Like with the snow globes, for instance, they were pre-boxed and I knew I had the right size boxes. With some of them Nerf guns, you've got to get, I haven't got one here. You know, like, what company was it? FedEx, maybe? You know, everyone used to order the boxes. I've still got loads of them long FedEx tube boxes. And a lot of the time, the Nerf guns got to go in there and it's just so bulky. But again, if I see the right Nerf guns, and this is what we were saying earlier, I think it was Luke earlier, who's new. Now I know the right Nerf guns to pick up. So the Nerf guns, which are above like 30, 40 quid, they're the ones I look for and they're the ones I buy, not the ones that are like 12 quid. I've gone past that stage.
I remember when I was doing a bit of everything and I was looking into Nerf guns. It was so cool at the time. But I really like the zombie range. You know, the crossbow and the shotgun. That stuff was, I don't know if it's like does any.
Mate, at one point I had over 200 Nerf guns in my store because I'd done a huge buyout from that guy at the car boot. And I remember it was like 2 of them wagon trolleys and a crate, and I had like a crate of, oh mate, they were the days.
God, if I saw you with that now, I'd probably be sick.
Fringe. Yeah.
Have you ever sold at Dunton? I haven't. Mrs. really wants to, probably like this week or next. Actually, we can't do next week, so I think it's going to Devon. But she really wants to. She really wants to sell, and obviously I go there to buy, so I'm there at like we're there at like 4. So I don't know whether to get her to do or us to do that one, or maybe the second one that I go to, because I think the second one is where it's all set up. You're already set up. There's no like people at you. There's a queue system, and then they come in. So I feel like that one's probably a good one to go and sell to afterwards.
Yeah, we could, to be fair, because I need to sell as well. I've got loads of Halloween stuff that I'm trying to clear now, and I've got promotions on the eBay store, but I need to sell probably in the next couple of weeks. So we could always go to Dunton, set up our cars to sell, do a lap, and then maybe open up at like 6:30, 7.
True. Yeah, you don't need to actually get it all out. So people just sit in their cars for however long they want.
Yeah, because I would rather park the car up as a selling space, go and sell, because the stuff I've got, realistically, it's not going to be stuff that other resellers are probably going to want anyway if they've completed their first lap and don't do a second. My stuff's going to be targeted towards the like especially the Halloween costumes, like adults and kids, it's going to be like the general public who probably don't even come until about 7 or 8 anyway. So it might be an option, mate, if you want to do it for us to organise a date, load up the cars, go there, do our buy-in first of all, grab a coffee, pitch up next to each other, and then we can do a sales one as well.
That could be a good idea, actually. Yeah, I think we'll have to pick a date. In
Q4,
Q4,
because the weather's getting worse and worse, mate. I don't want to be standing in the rain selling.
No, neither do I. In Q4, I utilise my relationships with dealers and charity shops. Yeah, I do. I mean, in my local town, I'll go to like the gym, and then on the way back, I will go through the charity shops, have a little word and stuff like that. And there might be a thing or two or whatever, and I get along really well with them. I'm not like back door, like in the back, sipping through stuff. Like James got a really good relationship. Simon's
I've only got one. That's fair. I've only got one, so it's one relationship.
Yeah, so I mean, there's like 2 where I like casually speak. We kind of know each other, and then I'll just say like anything come out or anything out the back, stuff like that. Kind of that. It's not like like Simon's got like the ultimate one. But yeah, they're having like a dealer or having like charity shops where they can give you regular stuff, because I don't really think about how amazing that is until like one gets rained off. I'm talking about car boots, and then we get into that like the back end of the season. I think I've only been doing this for like 2 or 3 years or something like that. I think it's probably like 3 years. And throughout the winter, the first time I had the rag house, so I was in there all throughout the winter. I didn't care about charity shops. I weren't bothered if they were shut or open or whatever. The next one, Vinted, no bands, no nothing. Like just full on, like you can do whatever you want, get as many items as possible. Now, this is different, mate. And I feel like it's going to be very different. And if you haven't got stuff like this and you are full-time, it is a little bit scary. But obviously it depends on your bills and where you live and all that kind of stuff. And everyone's different. So I get that. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried, but we'll get through it. We always do.
Mate, no need to be worried. We've been doing this now. I said it's like my 4th year doing this now. No need to be worried. We always find a way, and we always come out. Sometimes it feels tough. Like last week for me felt really rough and really tough. But this week I'm more positive. I'm smiling again about it. So we always come out smiling, mate, at the end of the day. We're not going to move into a mansion in Q4, but we've always got next Q4, and that's the time to move into a mansion.
No, I think we're finished, mate.
Maybe.
As it's so much harder to source in Q4, and especially Q1, I hold back on running too many sales and offers. Yeah,
interesting.
I might even go the other way.
Go hard on the offers and sales.
Yeah, I mean, it's say like when like what you were talking about, paddling pools and stuff that's in season. Some like retailers just go heavy on discounts on the stuff that's in season to get that moving. But I don't know how I'm really going to play it. Things are going. I like where stuff is selling at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And then yeah, I'm content with the prices that stuff's going at, with how long it's sitting in the store. So yeah, for me, I'm just concentrating on the back end stuff. And what I wanted to go on to as well is a stock audit. I don't know if you guys do it. It's obviously very annoying if you're at like, I would say over 1,000 items. And I did it. I probably usually do it I do it every 6 months. It's probably close to like a year nearly, where I go through the whole thing. And I usually do it when I consolidate. So when I go into my unit, I have the number system, the box system, where you compress obviously as time goes on and you sell stuff, you have gaps in your boxes. And then whilst I'm consolidating, I've done a stock take where I basically check if it's listed or not listed. Like if it's active, but it's not in there, or if it's in there, but it's not on eBay, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think I need to do one of them and make sure that everything.
This sounds like a great YouTube video you can make for your channel to show us all, and maybe put out some content of how you organize and do a stock take from start to finish. I mean, what reports do you pull from eBay? Where do you get the reports from, etc. I just think it'd make a great YouTube channel, maybe for next week.
Possibly.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one thing that I think is a pretty good idea if you've sold a lot, because you'd be surprised how much is not listed or could be listed or whatever. To protect the store from whittling down, creating a cash flow problem. I think I might have been connected.
That's about taking people off, yeah.
Hit me up for the puffers, 20 rabs a day.
Yeah, Dan, what's this about? Why are you not asking me to? If you're selling these rab puffers for £2 a piece, mate, I'll take all 20 today.
We spoke about being wrecked at Dunton at eBay HQ. It's painful. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's only painful the start of the drive there And for me, the drive home is so painful from Dunton. When you're there in the field, it's nothing but like joy in the field. We have a great time at Dunton.
Especially if you're in form. If you're in that purple patch and you're just getting hit after hit after hit. If you're there, sometimes we're scrambling around for like the first 2 hours, and
if you pick up Pokemon figures in the first like 20 minutes before the sun even comes up, mate, you are on it.
By the way, that's such a rarity.
By the way, I've got one more sold this morning. I've got one left now. I need to come on. I'll come on the podcast maybe, hopefully this week if it sells, next week, and then break down exactly the profit made on that.
Yeah, guys would love that as well.
Nice.
I've only been to about 6 car boots and only bought about 15 items on Vinted this year. I try not to rely on these sources for my stock. Yeah, so I mean, Andy's quite diverse. Obviously, he's got his wholesale connections and stuff like that as well, which is unreal. So, it seems like he's got a very good thing going with that. How should I properly document and report expenses to HMRC when purchasing items from flea markets where no invoices are provided? I am not your man.
I would say we don't want to give tax advice. Get an account. We both use an accountant. We both use a company called Bofix, linked up with QuickBooks. It's very easy, but Bofix might watch this podcast and they'll probably agree. We are useless. We leave it literally to the last week, and then me and Luke jump on a StreamYard together, panicking, saying we need to get this done today. And we always get it done, but we're not your men when it comes to making sure your books are up to date. That's for sure. Speak to an accountant or get some financial advice. You don't have to use them. They always say you can do it yourself. A lot of people do it themselves. Nick Hills, for instance, and Andrea, they do their accounts and books themselves. It's very easy. For me, I don't want the added pressure. I like someone chasing me to say, James, this is what we need from you. I'm just lazy and I don't give them what they need quick enough. So I need to get better at that. But we don't want to give financial advice on here.
I just like doing the job. I don't, it actually makes me feel ill, like the whole accounting side of it. I'm just like, right, what do I need to pay you to take the whole thing off me? Might not be the best thing to do, but for me,
I can't even add up, mate, to be fair. So
God, yeah, sometimes I can't even read. That gives me the shivers. I have people contacting me about buying a huge optician's clearance. Wow. And the prices they come back with for me to travel a few hours scare me time to time. Some of these buyouts, man. I've had one. I think you've had one. They can be they can be terrifying. But
I remember spending $3,000 on a buyout, and my hand was shaking.
Yeah,
I've never spent £3,000 on like one transaction. Even like the van I bought was, I think, 2,000. But I've never ever spent $3,000 on one transaction, and I was literally like tapping the card, and they're like, "Yeah, it won't tap. You've got to put your card in," because it's an actual shop. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh yeah," like typing the pin, just like, this is a lot of money, £3,000.
Yeah, it's funny because the one that I had was the exact same in terms of money, like free, and I was like, I know it works, I know it's a good buy, but I'm still like, oh no, this is a lot. I feel awkward asking them sometimes. I was wearing a blue Helly Hansen jacket on once, and someone thought I was working for HMRC. Yeah, I mean we sometimes wear cameras going around the car boot, and like people think you're old Bill. There was a point where the guy asked you, didn't they?
It was like, you the old Bill? We're like, why, have you done anything wrong?
Yeah, it was so funny. Do you experience any issues with humidity when storing inventory and outdoor container? This is a question I get asked a lot, but I've had like 2 or 3 cycles now, and obviously in the winter you do get like drips on the inside and stuff like that. But some people like give me grief about that, and I'm like, it's not that bad, to be honest. Like I've had it like 2 or 3 years now, and yeah, it's not like, doesn't really get bad at all, I would say. Some people might experience it worse than others, but with my setup and it's nothing really. So dunce will generally fall after 2 or 3 weeks of Sunday falling. So now, that thing as well is like on my Thursday one, James, like if they get like, I think it's when it's the back end of October, and they get 2 to 3 weeks called off because of rain, that's when they call it. So if they get 2 in a row or 3 in a row, that's it. It's done for the season.
Well, after a certain, I guess after the start of September, they kind of say after September, we have 2 or 3 weeks of rain, it's game over.
Yeah, so if we get this whole Indian summer thing, then it will just go and go and go. But if they get like 2 or 3 rained off, then that's it, it's done. 12% down Q4 compared to Simon was exactly the same, 12% down Q4 compared to Q3 last year. That does fascinate me. And Simon's pretty much, his story is very, very similar to mine. So it does kind of make sense. But Andy was saying, just checked, and my Q4 24 versus Q3 20 was 36.7% up. That's big.
But it's all relative, isn't it? Because it all depends on whether you might have just started out last Q4, whatever. But and also for you, Luke, the biggest change, and I always look at this, you were doing 90% Vinted last year. So of course you're going to be down. You were spending a lot more money though.
Spending an absolute ton. Most of the money is made in the winter when sourcing is harder to find. We list 90 items a week of new stock in the summer. In the winter, we do the same, but from stock cages, but might buy 20 items. Yes, it changes. Picky is super good. I do feel blessed. Right, let me try and I'm so far behind it. My storage unit is about 300 to 400 yards from my front door. Yeah, that's literally. I think mine will be literally like that. And God, yours is
mine just down the road. It's so good.
Yeah, yours is very close, James. Do you think daily listing goals, ASP, cost of goods, started in clothing and go across niche? It's hard to understand the structure when most mentorships are clothing.
I think it does. And do you know what I think it is? I think it's about working out what works for you in your business. Some people don't use averages. For instance, some people when I first started reselling, I used to actually write every single item's price in the SKU next to the SKU number. So say I went to the car boot, if I paid £20 for a PlayStation 2, I would put £20 and then SKU would be like box 1A or whatever it was in. And I've done that for the first 2 and a bit years. And I used to actually have a spreadsheet with every single item I purchased and how much I purchased for on the spreadsheet as well. I used to be really good. And then I ditched the spreadsheet because once you get past sort of listing 5 or 10 a day, it's very hard to maintain a daily spreadsheet of listing every single item as well. It just turns into a real admin task. So some people do that and don't even work on averages. And with the Vinted stuff, I've actually started putting how much I paid for it in the SKU, because then it definitely helps me work out when I do sell it or get offers, whether I'm actually concentrating on getting the good stuff. Because I've gone down the Vinted model before of compromising too much to get the numbers. And that's where it really swallowed up my cash flow.
Secret Carper, my tip would be research every item before you pick it up. If money is tight, so you don't pick up low sale through items. Yeah, I mean, with the car boots, mate, like I've noticed that when I've been bringing stuff back, especially when we're there at like stupid o'clock in the morning, like some of the defects are so hard to spot sometimes. And I have this huge bloody like flashlight, and I'm trying to spot everything. And yeah, I noticed that if I bring like 50 items back, but yeah, I know that's pretty much off topic of what Secret Carper was saying, but yeah, that's been annoying me recently. But yeah, research, especially if you're on Vinted, you don't really have time though, but you do have the cancellation button. But then if you cancel too many times, you can get banned. But charity shops, I think, when you're casually walking around, you can't make mistakes when you're there. I mean, that's like, I'd say that's pretty much like unacceptable. Especially we've got this thing in it. We've got literally everything on that phone. So yeah, especially when you're out charity shopping, I'd say.
Yeah, charity shopping, you're not under so much pressure to make a quick decision. So definitely take your time a bit more.
Good morning, early birds. So excited about the busiest season, as last year was fab. Good to know it was good as well. I have that sounds like a dream. 130 items. I'm happy as Larry. I'll be happy as Larry.
Who's Larry, by the way? I've always wondered.
I reckon if you typed it in, like happy as Larry.
Who is Larry?
Who is Larry? It would probably tell
you. Keep talking.
I will do. We have a daily collection and do tracked Royal Mail 24-hour only. So with this whole with this whole collection thing, you know, if you're doing daily, like you have to ship on the day.
Hold on, forget about shipping on the day. All right, this is more important. It's actually referring to a guy called Larry Foley, who was an undefeated Australian boxer in the late 19th century.
Was he just buzzing all the time then?
I guess so.
Oh.
Sorry, back to eBay.
I'm always worried about the collection thing. That You know, like if they don't come.
Oh, they do. I must admit, I sometimes send things with raw mail, 48-hour, but collection, and it's the postman. He always turns up and he always delivers.
Right now, I'm stock taking off the rubbish off the store and taking it to a car boot sale this weekend. Selling, hopefully. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know if we've probably spoke about markdown sales and how we're slowly reducing and getting rid of stock and stuff like that. But I don't have a set procedure where it kind of ends up then going to the car boot. You know, if it gets reduced to a certain amount, pull it out of the store, that kind of thing. So I think maybe I need to look into that as like a last resort. I've moved from Ukraine to the UK, clothing reseller. I used to sell more than 12k listings on eBay overseas. The best thing you can do is keep listing every day. For me, Virginia, it's been massive ever since I started. But I think when I moved into clothing, that's when I kind of joined a group, and it was the whole like daily listing goal, like we spoke about a lot. For me, it just, if anything, it's just about the consistency of it rather than anything else. And yeah, that's been huge for me. Matey boy, I always find a dozen items in my storage for whatever reason that isn't listed. It drove me mad because I was picking out so much that either wasn't listed or was listed, was on eBay, wasn't on eBay, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, where the hell has this gone wrong? And it's not eBay. Like people saying, I think people used to say like that, you know, my stuff just isn't listed. There's somewhere down the line, I think you've just gone wrong. What do you think? Or do you think that miraculously delete things or something?
I don't know. I don't know whether eBay after a certain amount of time bump your things off because they're not selling. I don't know. Because I'm convinced there's stuff that I've had drop off eBay, and I look through it and I'm like, I definitely haven't delisted it. It's definitely not a return that I forgot to relist. But there again, there was that time where the automatic relist once you accept a return and you refund the customer wasn't working. So I put that down to a lot of it. But I must admit, I go through and I always find things that have dropped off. Always.
Yeah. But the thing is, it used to tell you, didn't it? This item is not relisted. There would be like an error or something when you try.
But I think it was hard to see. It wasn't like a big flash up. It just showed at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, John, I do a stock audit once a year. Download the eBay list. Yeah, this is exactly how I do it. Download the eBay listing report to Excel, print it out, walk around and tick off each item to make sure everything is still listed. It takes about an hour to do 1,000 an hour. Yeah, I was doing it with consolidating, so it took me ages. I think it took me like 3 hours or something stupid. But yeah, I put it in SKU order and then go through it, just double check that every item's there. And yeah, I'll look at like the color section of it, just see if it matches. And then, yeah, make a note of the ones. I can't remember what way I did it with the notes on my phone. But, yeah, I'll do that soon anyway. I love seeing all the numbers. 3K, oh my God, what was the haul? I think you put it in the chat, didn't you?
Yeah, the party shop was closing. Not the party shop, but a party fancy dress shop was closing down locally to me. And I think it was due to the shop rents, like were through the high street rents were through the roof and stuff. So they're closing down the business. And she was actually starting like an online, I think it was a balloon shop, but doing it online. So I saw on Facebook Marketplace they were closing down and cleared out the whole shop basically. Lots of fancy dress, Halloween and non-Halloween fancy dress, lots of accessories and stuff. And that's the stuff I need to take to Gun and actually clear out because I've made like decent profit on it so far, but I just need to. I've got lots of stuff that's like probably like for £1. Like hairspray cans, you know, like 3 for £1 on like the fancy dress hairspray cans and fake blood. I've got so much fake blood. So probably like 3 for £1 down the car boot kind of jobby. So yeah, I definitely need to do it.
Yeah, and it's proper coming into that time of year as well. Like it's probably going to be ideal to do like a car boot in the run up to like Halloween and stuff like that. So
I will be doing one for sure. I think Dunton is a great shout though. Whoever put that in earlier, I think I might do that. Just fill up the car. I might even just take the Halloween bits, mate, to be honest with you.
I think you should do pretty well. I need to improve my sourcing attitude. I would have been thinking, why are they closing down? It must be all rubbish, and ignored it.
Yeah, I think it all depends. I think and I see sometimes like resellers will say, I'm leaving reselling and I want to sell all my stock. that isn't always a bad thing either. Don't just assume that it's all going to be crap because they've given up reselling. Like, people's circumstances change. So yeah, don't disregard any opportunity, really. Go and have a look, but don't be scared. I've walked away from so many where I've kind of got excited and be like, oh my God, this could be like 2,000 items. Like, I need to buy it. And you get there and you're like, are you really going to want to list all this stuff? Is it the right stuff? Is it going to sell through quick? And I've walked away from more than I purchased. So, but always go and look. There's no harm in driving an hour, 2 hours to go and investigate and do some sourcing on the way back. Do a charity shop route on the way back. And then you could do it that way.
With my bite out, there was so much of the same SKU. As in, it was like the same item, like times 10 or times 20. And you probably had that with a lot of your stuff as well. But the thing is with that, it's like you can't list everything all in one go because it just looks ridiculous. So like, I would do like a couple of quantity stuff, but I'd have to hold so much stuff back. And that was the thing that annoyed me. So I'd be in boxes in the storage unit waiting for stuff to sell on eBay and then putting a few more on. Yeah. So for me, like, it was a little bit annoying. I've still got a lot of the stuff now, but yeah, for me, it was a no-brainer at the time.
Why are you called Bob?
What's going on?
Lucy put a hi, Bob. I need to know now why you're called Bob.
No, it's just like a couple thing. It's just what we call each other.
Oh, like little cute couple names. Oh,
yeah, it's like our little thing. Oh. We've just done the first 400 items of 3,500 items for a full stock take coming into Christmas. The audit is against eBay active listings report and listings items Excel sheets. Stuff has fallen off. First 400, 3,500. Whoa, so that's double. I used to have a store at 3,500. But yeah,
some people love that. Yeah, so fair play and put numbers in last week, and we're like, okay, yeah, the store values are. If I just picture 3,500 items in my store, and I would be having a meltdown, being like, I need to sell all of this stuff. Like, I don't know, it gives me anxiety, and I don't know why. I just want a 10 item store, and each item to be worth like 70 grand. That would do me.
I think for me it was like a unit and a little bit. So I had 2 units and it overspilled to the second one, and there was 3,500 in that. Bearing in mind I'm going for 2 units again, so I think I would be open up to 5 to 7k in the up. But for me, that at the minute, I feel like that's an end goal. You know, like, I don't think I'd want more than that. But this changes. How often do we change? Like, we've been pretty good in terms of like staying the same. But
mate, staying the same is boring. All right, all these people staying the same, making all this money, being very successful, running good businesses, no stress, waking up with more money than they know what to do with it. That's boring, mate. We like the adventure of having no money, changing 24/7, stressing out. We love all that.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I'm joking, by the way. I don't want to change. I just want to make loads of money, please.
The only reason things drop off is down to the automatic returns relist. Not working.
John, I'm with you, mate. I'm in your category with that. It's eBay, not me.
Once I stopped that and manually relisted my items, I no longer had items missing. Yeah, there's probably so much in my unit. It's not listed at all. Wow, the Happy as Larry origin is an anticlimax. That's right.
No, I've done a bit more digging as well, because Dan, you put me down this rabbit hole. Yeah, there's about 7 different opinions of what it means. So it might not be the boxer after all. There's about 7 different opinions. I don't think anyone knows.
This is so funny. Andy's like, "Who's Bob?" Oh, loose.
Now read the next one. Read the next one, because I think we need to see this, because it has been a while.
Bobbling could be the way to describe Luke's car boot.
Do you remember the shuffle run from the door?
The shuffle.
Oh, we love the shuffle. We don't have to do the shuffle run anymore.
Oh, I think he needs to show us again. No, he ain't doing that. What was it? It was because I was back there, wasn't it? And then
so show us your shuffle run. And you did it. It was great.
Maybe we'll do it another time when the car boots reopen.
If you hype the video, we got to say this now. I'm going to plug the hype. There's a new feature on YouTube, guys, called Hype. And we need 10 of you to hype the video. If we get 10 hypes on this video by next week's podcast, Luke will start the podcast with the shuffle run. And he'll do it from the kitchen as well. So it'll be a longer shuffle run. There we are. So 10 hypes on the video.
I'll bring the laptop with me so you can see the shuffle.
After
But if you're
the
watching
video, all you got to do is go on your mobile phone, go into comments, but swipe left or right. Swipe one, click that hype button. Hyping is free. You can't hyper live, Simon. Hyping is free. And if we get 10 hypes on the video, Luke will do his shuffle run from the kitchen to start next week's podcast, guaranteed. Just 10 hypes.
But I want to know. I want to know the OGs that do it. So if you do it after this live ends,
yeah, comment hype.
Yeah, go to comments, swipe left, and then hype it. Let me know in the comments because I want to know the OGs.
Yeah, who's hyping it? And if we get 10, Luke will do the shuffle run. That's a guarantee. There we are. That's what you got to do, mate. You've got to offer them something to hype the video. Don't worry, the content's not great, but we can bribe you to hype the video to see Luke do the shuffle run. That's what we need to do.
There's a lot of people that did it off their own back for last week, and then obviously on the picking and packing.
But if we beg, mate, more people will do it, guaranteed. Yeah, we've got to beg a bit more, please. We're desperate.
But yeah, I think we're all caught up. So is there anything? Actually, wait a minute. There's items missing which have no reason other than failing. Is that the one that I just read out? No, it wasn't. Was it?
Along the same lines, yeah. You're just repeating yourself, mate. We get it. All right, the relisting thing didn't work. We get it. Items drop off eBay. We get it.
But yeah, I think going into wait, Andy's just put something on. Let's read this. So then I'm fully up to date and we can move on. When I watch Sloth's video,
more comments in the side chat so we can't catch up. Keep spamming the comments.
I was impressed of that blitz. When I watch Sloth's video, I always wonder where they're running to, as they have no idea what is actually there. Mate, I don't know what it is. Like Chelmsford has that aura about it as well. It's like it's crazy. So like everyone's in a huge line across the whole width of the car boot, and they say 1, 2, 3, go, and it's like I don't want to be that cringy guy that jogs, but it's like I need that speed with the walk, and it's like it's nuts.
I think sometimes, like if you go to a regular car boot and you have your people there, the people who always bring like good electrical stuff or this and that and that. I get it. You're trying to get to them. But I agree, at Chelmsford, mate, we've both done it. Where we shuffle running to? Why are we jogging? What are we jogging to?
Oh, mate, I spotted rails for days. So I'm looking at every single row, and I'm like, where's the rails? Where's the top? Where's the tables with the gear on it? And what out of these rows has most of that? So I'm like that. I'm going that one, and then I do the shuffle because I've got to compete with all these people, and the car boot's tiny. Like we drove there.
10 hypes for the shuffle, guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not a fan. It is quite cringy, but
I like watching.
But other than that, mate, is there anything else that you'd be doing for Q4? Because for me, I don't change too much. That's why it's so fun to see what people do and how they react to it. Because for me, if anything, it's a down. I'm down in Q4.
I think for Q4, for me, it's about really taking eBay seriously again. I won't be going out on a Tuesday night and sinking a number of beers watching Tottenham. Because your message came through to me before kickoff, and you said to me, "What does this even say? I can't see."
I couldn't even see it. I was in the toilet, and I was like, "What's this geezer going on about?"
I was sending Luke loads of stuff about some YouTube announcements they've just made, and Luke's like, "Shut up, mate! I'm at the football. I can't even see what I'm doing."
Like, what is this YouTube? There's a geezer on stage.
I don't care right now. I didn't even know you were there. I wouldn't mess you YouTube stuff. I knew you at the football, but no, I think for me it is that it's taking. Not that I don't take this job seriously. I think it's being a bit more. I think it's a bit more thinking about what I'm buying compared to just buying for the sake of hitting numbers. So I think I'm going to be a lot more selective, a bit more thought process in my buying habits, and everything else I'll probably just keep as it is. But hopefully, we'll see if I'm listing the same or slightly less, but I'm actually concentrating more on the stuff I'm putting into the store. I'm hoping the graph is going to see a big boost. So I'll probably compare It's hard to compare Q3 to Q4. We know it is, but I think I'll get a feel for Q4 whether there's been a bump.
Yeah, and I think with the whole every single year, it's like get your packaging supplies, get all them in place. But I never seem to have a problem getting all that stuff. It's just like
no, it doesn't sell out. But like me, schoolboy error to run out of the bags, and I get the eBay bag, so it's like a free voucher, and it's a schoolboy error to run out. and then to be like, oh, but luckily I've been saved to come today. And look, I've got the huge bags that it can go in, but I want to save them bags for the huge items as well. So, but the other bags, I think I've got of like these normal bags. I think I brought 10,000 like a year or so ago, 2 years ago. I've got boxes of these in the garage, so these are fine. It's just the next size up, but they're coming today, which is good.
Yeah, I think I'm in good stead. I usually get probably like 2 months worth, 2 or 3 months worth. So then I'm pretty much good for a while. But yeah, other than that,
Let's talk about the eBay Open as well. That's Crystal put it in earlier. Let me scroll to the top. How many weeks did you say? Did you say 3 weeks? 2 weeks till the eBay Open. Wow, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's the same as like the start of it's first, isn't it? So,
and we're not doing a podcast on the morning of. No, because we'd have to leave like early, won't we, to get there to Birmingham.
I was going to do a like an eBay Open like events pod next week.
Okay, cool.
I want to speak about it in detail because we've been a few years and like I love chatting about it, and there's obviously a lot of new people in the chat, in the live chat, watching on the replays and stuff like that haven't been. So I think speaking about it in detail will be pretty cool. But yeah,
and if you come to the Open, by the way, please do come and say hello. I met Picky Ricky, I think his name is. Is it Picky Ricky? I met Picky Ricky at Dunton Car Boot because he put in the comments last week about how he always goes to Dunham and never sees us. And it's quite funny. I saw him like straight away. Well, he come and saw me. But remember, for a lot of you, we do not know what you look like. So please come and say hello to us. If we look confused, please say, I go by this on YouTube in case your name is different. And then we'll quickly click and realize who you are. But please come and say hello at the Open. Luke is doing signed photographs as well. So if you want a signed photo, just ask.
Absolutely. Yeah, the AI episode. John, the thing is...
John, it's not me. John, it's not me. I love AI. It's not me. I'm ready to go.
I want to bring as much value as I possibly can with it. So I want to do a bit of deep diving. I was supposed to do it, and then something came up, or I just could not dedicate the time to it. So push it back like another week or so, and yeah, I just want to. I don't want to just bring basic.
You want to bring value to the episode compared to being like, oh, I don't know much about it, but mate, it's coming everywhere. The YouTube announcements yesterday for AI are nuts. I'll speak to you afterwards. I did send you them, but you know. How many beers did you have anyway? That's what I want to know. Forget
not even that many.
Oh, it just doesn't take a lot these days. Is that what it is?
Barely drink.
2 Guinnesses and it's game over.
Yeah, Guinness was awful as well. Like I love my Guinness, and like when there's a poor Guinness.
Yeah, but football stadium Guinness is not the same as Guinness.
Yeah, but also I'm saying I wish I could come to the Open, but it's at the work time of the month for my full-time job, and I know it's that's the thing as well. It's on when it's like midweek, and it's like all throughout the day. And then if you obviously like we stay because it's quite a bit of a trek, but yeah, it's probably annoying for people that do this like not full-time. But yeah, we'll talk about that in detail, and then AI episode will eventually come. But I just want to learn some more stuff so that I can deliver it better. But yeah, that's pretty much me, mate. But yeah, hype the video. Let me know that you've hyped the video. And
10 wipes.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week. But appreciate.
And let's be honest, I'm going to be 1. If you can hype your own video, you're 2. Lucy will probably hype it 3. Simon hype the video 4. So we only need 6 more of you. We can see the shuffle run. So get hyping.
There you go. All right, love you guys.
Right, peace.
Peace.